to experience humiliation. This you have accomplished with rare good grace, and therefore I now believe it fitting to explain to you why this was done. There was no intent and no desire to demean you, nor to insult you. Pointless as it may have seemed to you, there was a time-honored and valid reason behind every single deed, every single bar. By experience, by performance, and by testing, you have been this day advanced to Chief Petty Officer in the United States Navy. And only in the United States Navy does E7 carry unique responsibilities no other armed force throughout the world carries, nor which grants privileges to its enlisted personnel comparable to the privileges and responsibilities you are now bound to observe and are expected to fulfill. Your entire way of life has now been changed. More will be expected of you. More will be demanded of you. Not because you are an E7, but because you are now a Chief Petty Officer. You have not merely been promoted one pay grade. You have joined an exclusive fraternity. And as in all fraternities, you have a responsibility to your brothers, even as they have a responsibility to you. Always bear in mind that no other armed force has rank or rate equivalent to that of the United States Navy. Granted that all armed forces have two classes of service, enlisted and commissioned. However, the United States Navy has the distinction of having four: enlisted, Bureau-appointed Chief Petty Officer, Bureau-appointed warrant, and commissioned. This is why you can maintain with pride your feeling of superiority once you have attained the position of E7 in the United States Navy. These privileges, these responsibilities do not appear in print. They have no official standing. They cannot be referred to by name, number, or file. They exist for over 200 years. The chiefs before you have freely accepted responsibility beyond the call of printed assignment and have, by their actions and performance, commanded the respect of their seniors as well as their juniors. It is now required that you be a fountain of wisdom, the ambassador of goodwill, the authority in personal relations as well as technical application. Ask the chief is a household phrase both in and out of the Navy. You are now the chief. So this, then, is why you were caused to experience these things. You are subjected to humiliation to prove to you that humility is a good, a great, a necessary attribute which cannot mar you. In fact, it strengthens you, and in your future as a Chief Petty Officer, you'll be caused to suffer indignities, to experience humiliation far beyond those imposed upon you today. Bear them with the dignity and with the same good grace which you bore these today. It is our intention to prove these facts to you. It is our intention that you will never forget this day. It is our intention to test you, to try you, and to accept you. Your performance today has assured us that you will wear your hat with aplomb, as did your brothers in arms before you. We take a deep, sincere pleasure in clasping your hand and accepting you as a Chief Petty Officer in the United States Navy. Chief Yeoman Bonenfant, front and center. Chief Bonenfant of Submarine NR1 will be pinned today by his wife Beverly and the officer in charge of Submarine NR1, Lieutenant Commander Cook. Bonenfant, post. The machinist mate Chief Julian Boyance will be pinned today by his wife Anne Marie and the officer in charge of Submarine NR1, Lieutenant Commander Cook. Chief Boyance, post. Chief Corpsman Charles R. Burke, Chief Jeff Barron, front and center. Chief Barron today will be pinned by Sherry Parsons. Barron, post. And the officer in charge of submarine NR1, Lieutenant Commander Cook. Chief Hayden, post. On Lieutenant Commander Cook. Chief Reed, post. Chief Electrician's mate, Jeffrey A. Richards, front and center. Chief Richards will be pinned this afternoon by his wife Paula and the officer in charge of submarine NR1, Lieutenant Commander Cook. Chief Richards, post. Chief Robinson will be pinned this afternoon by the officer in charge of submarine NR1, Lieutenant Commander Cook, and by Chief Electrician's mate, Van Foster. Chief Robinson, post. Chief Machinist mate, Gordon Van de Bogart, front and center. Chief Van de Bogart will be pinned this afternoon by his wife Mary, the officer in charge of submarine NR1, Lieutenant Commander Cook. Chief Van Bogart, post. Chief Machinist Mate Michael Whitson, front and center. Chief Whitson will be pinned this afternoon by his father, Mr. Harley Whitson. Chief Whitson, post. United States Navy, welcome you to our community. This concludes our ceremony this afternoon. The Frog Chief Petty Officers will remain in the front if you'd like to come by and offer your congratulations.